Hey there. I had a conversation with Samantha Chee the other day. Samantha Chee is the CEO of Glassfield. She asked me if I could take a look at her presentation slides and give her some coaching on how she could make her slide better so that she can present with higher impact and be able to engage the customers much better. So what I want to do in this video is to share with you the recording of the conversation that I had with Samantha to give you an idea on how you could also change your presentation slides so that when you use it to present, you can also engage your audience much better. Okay, so what I'm asking you, I wanted to ask you is that, what exactly is your objective in this presentation? Is it you go to see a new client and then you show this, right? Or you don't care whether whatever the client want, you were just going to tell them everything in this presentation?
Most of the times we would know a little bit about the company. So for me, like salesperson, probably they don't know what to take away, but for me, I know what is important. So I will focus my attention on certain slides.
Okay, so you focus your attention on certain slides. Right.
Yeah.
So what I want to suggest to you is that maybe you want to look through the whole presentation, right? And then after that you decide on the segment of the presentation that you want to talk about. So maybe the first two slides is a quick introduction about um, the company, whether the strength of the company, the credential and things like that. You might want to maybe have that in two or three slides very quickly. And then after that, then you decide which direction you want to go. Do you want to talk about your products? Do you want to talk about your services? You know, and things like that. And I'm sure you have a lot of things to talk about the products.
I never put in what services I offer, huh? The whole sites don't have my services offered.
Yeah, because you just show that okay, these are the products that you sell, and then yeah, so what, you have 100 products, right?
Yeah. So does a slide needs to go for like call to action?
Actually, no need because the call to action can be at the end, ma. Correct or not?
Correct.
Correct. Because in the first place, maybe in the first 15 minutes of the presentation, you are just trying to warm up with your client. Is that what you want to do? You warm up with them and then just to establish, what you do in your organization, or how does your organization help this potential client, and then how many type of services do you have? Is it like 5? Is it like 10? So if you, let's say you have like 10 different services, you don't want to throw all the 10 on the slides lah. You want to actually group them up and say that, in this area we actually offer quite a number of services, from maybe injection molding to recycling, right? To fresh injection molding to recycling, right? Then after that, you know that what the client want. The client is more interested in recycling area or in more interested in new products, injection molding, right? Right. So if you know that they are not looking at recycling and they say or they want to actually come up with new products using your manufacturing services, right? Then you can say, okay, in your case, I think the injection molding services might be of interest to you. Let me then show you the 3 different type of injection molding services that we currently have, right? And then you have a slide to show the 3 of them.
Where do you suggest us putting the testimonials?
I guess the testimonials usually comes um, at the end, at the end. Then after you finish all that, then you can say, let before you actually move towards the end, you can say, these are the few things that we have helped this organization and this organization do. Or alternatively, you can say after you mention about a service, then you can bring in the testimonial if you want to. So I said, okay, service A, we do provide this and thing. In fact, we actually did this for a lot of companies. And one of the companies that we have done with this was very successful in launching the product or was very satisfied with the quality that we have provided.
Okay. Yeah. What about our credentials? Like, like you see, we have a lot of like certificates and all those. We're supposed to show it as well, right?
Actually, if you ask me, I seldom show certificates one. Your certificate is for your own
Own health.
own own help, right? It's kind of for your own branding.
Okay.
What's the word that is used?
So in Malay, we call it shock sendiri. Yeah.
Shock sendiri. Okay, correct. Shock sendiri.
Hey, you know?
I'm a Malaysian.
Oh,
I was a Malaysian. I studied in Malaysia. I live in Kajang.
seriously.
My hometown is Kajang, yeah.
It's just near here, you know. I 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Bus.
So my parents' house, we still have a house in Kajang, just across the train station in Reko Road, Jalan Reko.
I know. There's a stationery shop around there, one, right? You remember there's this old stationery shop.
Chipley, is it? I always go there when I was a kid. That was in the town. That's in the town.
Oh, that's in
That's
the town.
in town.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm not from Kajang, but I have friends from like Yihua.
Oh,
So
Yihua, okay.
yeah. So like I have like bunch of my friends. I always hang out with them. Then they show us this is my old school, and then
Okay.
like the Chipley. Then now they turn into like a very famous stationery store in Bangsa, you know.
Yeah, okay, because I think they branch out and then they franchise.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was quite nice lah.
So when we come back to this one, yeah, like I say, shock sendiri in terms of all the certificates. I never show certificates one. You know, if you want to, you can maybe put one slide on something that is relevant. Let's say, for example, in this one, right, ISO 14,000, which is important, related, your certification related to a product, related to quality of what your customer needs. Yeah, then okay lah, then you put it there lor, right? So if you say, oh, the company received awards from this, is that important? Does it tie to, the product quality? If it doesn't, then it's like, again, lor, it's a shock sendiri one.
Oh, yeah, I find that a lot of people like to put everything there, leh.
Let me ask you, if you attend a corporate presentation and then they spend 10 minutes talking about all their awards, you turn off or not?
I will feel very pissed off lah. You're wasting my time.
Yeah, correct. So if you want, you can say flash the award and spend like 5 seconds on that, and then after that just move on lor. Correct? Because I see companies actually go into slide and keep continue one and then one and then one and talk about.
I see. Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, after going through my slides, right, what do you feel? Like no substance, right? Like you don't remember anything at all, right?
Actually, not a lot. Like for example, this one, location, is it important or not?
Sometimes for export customer, yes lah, because they want to know that you are near to the port.
Okay. So my suggestion is that if you want to show that you're near the port, put a map.
Okay.
Okay, put a map to say that the main port.
Near so 50 km.
Yeah, and then your location. Okay. Instead of say 50 km, you say okay, it's only 30 minutes to the port.
Which you also know is 1 hour to the port. I just drop it out lah. Forget it.
Okay, yeah. Okay. Capacity, 19
machine. This one is important because
19 machine. Okay.
Yeah, because they want to know your capacity, the tonnage lah, the tonnage of the.
Okay, so my suggestion is that this part of the information shouldn't be part of the information where you talk about location. Correct?
Oh, okay, okay, okay. I
Correct or
get
not?
it.
It shouldn't be in the same slide. You should separate it and make sure that, you know, every section of your presentation must be focused, you see.
I
You
see.
see, you
Okay.
want to focus on, okay, this section I'm going to talk about this one. So when people think about certain things, then they will associate, into a segment that you have been talking about, right? And in that case, what you can do is that you can divide your whole presentation into different segments. Then you can control the time, you see. Correct or not? So in the post presentation, you say, I will have 5 segments that I want to talk about, right? Maybe the first segment is a quick introduction, right? Together with the introduction includes, your quick capabilities, include your uh, maybe credential if you want to be part of it, just to get that over with, right? It includes where your plant is located and things like that. All those integrity things that doesn't involve relate to the actual services. And then after that, you want to go into, okay, do you want to talk about services? Which part of the services you want to talk about, right? So if your services is very complicated, then you say, okay, in total, I can divide my services into 3 different categories. And then so you group them into 3 different categories, and then you talk about the first category of services is this. The second is this. The third is this. Yeah, but if you have 50 different services, and then you say, I want to put it into 3, that might be difficult, correct? Then you would say, okay, I will still want to put it into 3, but what are the top 3?
You know what? Suddenly I felt that like this is maybe why I don't get a lot of business. Every time I do a presentation, there was no immediate contact, or immediate how do you call that? Immediate
Relevance.
relevance. Because I think in the presentation, right, I didn't even tell what are the service that I offer. Like I never stream them up into categories. Like
Mm,
in a way that I'm not planning this thing to sell them something, Like the end in mind, right, of this presentation is just to tell who we are. But
mm,
I think I missed the whole point, like after talking to you, lah. Like I missed the whole point of like I'm supposed to sell, right?
yeah,
I'm selling what I have, right? Like what package I have. And I was it's like I can craft this in a way where like these are the things that I offered. B, these are the things I offered. And then I can do it in a very firm way. Like because I categorize my section already. Like in even for R&D, if you actually want to engage our service, this is what we have. So when I put it out that this is what I have, naturally people will think that, hey, I will charge, right? But
correct.
in the entire slide, you see like how Changi our R&D, and everything. I forgot to sell.
Yeah, correct. Because if you just put everything haphazardly, again, it's like not organized, correct or not? It's not structured. Your services are not structured. You want to, if you want to charge this, you will charge this. You want to charge that, you will charge that, kind of thing. So you don't have you know, a rate card. You don't have a rate card,
Yeah.
for your services.
Now I know, right, why I was doing a lot of free jobs for a lot of my customer.
Mm.
Engineering, drawings, and then
Yeah, because you say that, okay, okay, you want this product, and then when they come, oh, we do not have a plan, we do not have a drawing to do that. Then you say, okay, okay, we can help you do that.
yeah,
you
yeah, yeah,
know,
yeah. That's basically what I did, you see. And then I was thinking, help them to do that, whether I want to charge or don't charge, you see. So it's like now I realize like the whole point I was missing out is like I've never said it right the first time on the first contact that to engage me, you need to, be ready for like service one. Service one
mm,
is level one where you get us to help you with the drawing, the product sketching, which actually involves a lot of our technical part. And service two will be like the designing of the product and making sure that the product, the molding of the product. And then service three will be like the injection of the product. Service four will be like the whatsoever lah, the coming products. But I didn't frame this the whole time to my customer. So that's why my customer is like always in a way taking advantage of me. because I never put it down, ma. So anyway, you say, okay, never mind, I look for Sam. So Sam is gonna solve like all the problems that you have in injection molding without expecting that, this actually take up my cost as well, like my human
Mm.
cost, my engineers cost and all those. Is yeah, I suddenly realized that it's wrong from the start.
And then after that, you can have your logo here,
Okay.
and then you can have your product or services lah.
Okay.
Okay, and then you want to divide them into 1, 2, and 3. If we take a look at your slide, okay, capacity, scope of business.
So this is my service.
Okay. Again, you don't want to list down the service like that because one whole chunk people cannot see, you see. People cannot see. So what you want to do is that you want to have your service to be like that, right? And you can actually do 5 lah if you want to, 5 area, correct? And then maybe you group them into 5 different type of services lah. So R and D, right? And then after that you can have, I don't know what else is molding, right?
Wow.
Yeah. And then if you want to make it more interesting, you can either have a icon of a picture or something like that, right? Or you can have a photograph lah, very nicely taken photograph of your real work kind of thing, and then you can just paste it here, right? So in other words, if you take a look at something that I did on my services, yeah, you can do things like that, right? You can do things like that, so you have a few photographs showing what you actually do, kind of thing, and then you round up your services, right? For so in my case, then after that I talk about my book, so I will have a slide that goes, because the book is a different area from my training services,
Yeah.
right? So I move in and things like that.
The sticky thing, the
Yeah.
honey.
So once everything is done, did you watch my sheet
Yeah.
thing?
I did. Hey,
Okay.
but there was a different version of your hero journey, right?
What you mean a different version?
Like from the one that you mentioned on my live.
On your line got no slides ma.
Yeah.
I still talk about this thing, right?
Yeah. Correct.
Right, but it's just that there's no visual, so you have
Yeah.
to imagine the visual yourself. But this one I have visual, and I talk about how you actually ended at the end, right? Yeah. And then your things like that lah, your credential, your services you want to put in.
Correct.
And for the actual thing, I also talk about my job in Apple, right? In the
Yeah, but there was
thing.
no photo lah.
No photo lah. Now you can see that now I'm talking the journey. Let's go back to the past, right?
Yeah.
And then also talk about what happened on my dream.
Yeah, that was so long time ago.
Yeah. So at least here visually you can say, okay, I actually zoom back and then I move forward again, kind of thing. Yeah. Whereas without the visual, you tend to kind of need to imagine, what I'm talking, and sometimes you will get lost lah, because without the visual,
So the audience get lost. It's very
the audience will get lost. Yeah. And sometimes also because without the visual to guide you as a presenter, sometimes you forget you have said that things before, right? Then you kept repeating again, right? Right. And things like that. So I was spending some time thinking through, how can I build slides that is relevant that is able to connect people as I talk to my story lah.
I think connection is also one very big keyword.
Yeah. So many presenters actually build slides without connecting their story to the slide. Right. And so that is very important. I mean, if you want to use visual, you need to ensure that you need to connect lah. Yeah.
It is you showed this. I probably didn't see this.
Yeah, I showed this. This is my actual presentation that was on that day. Right. Right. Then I move on to talking about how the slides are being built. Right.
But okay, my question is, if let's say today, I were to send a company profile, it's gonna be different from a slides already, right?
Yeah, different. You if you send a company profile, it becomes a brochure, right? It becomes a document that you send out. So
I send this same link.
I guess it's okay if you send this one because this is a reading material lah. You know, so you send out a company profile with all this detail. Um, I guess it's okay lah if you want them to go through in this sequence lah. You know, but if you want them to be, if you want something more professional, then you might want to recreate some of this content into a visually more pleasing.
Yeah, I think I should level up lah. I should level up lah, in a way that's supposed to be a bit different.
Okay, so what I did was that I compiled a brochure lah. Okay, done on PowerPoint. Right, so I include a little bit more information, you know, as compared to presentation slide. Right, so something like that, so that when people flip through, they see pictures and then they see key messages lah. Right, so it's easy for them to absorb the information, right, and things like that. You know, so I show pictures and I show maybe some a little bit more text as compared to presentation slides, right? And then I go through. So I will put in the information in the sequence that I want them to actually experience the whole journey about, you know, getting to know my services and my company lah.
Okay.
Right? And then after that, after I finish all that, then I talked about what is the program all about lah. You know, what do you get to learn in this whole training program? You know, what are the framework? You know, how does the framework look like? Right? And then where do we focus on in terms of some of the ideas and things like that? And then here I talk about the different programs I have lah. Okay, so my right.
You already told people what you have instead of customized.
Correct.
Customized, you dim it down so much, right? Because you don't want to do a lot of customization.
Yeah, I don't want. Yeah, and people cannot afford the customization all the time because it's going to be like very expensive.
Yeah, I think I learned a lot from like getting myself easier of framing. I think framing is very important in the slides.
Right.
Because I didn't frame them in the first place. Well. So that's why they all come all directions coming to me.
Yeah.
All sorts of requests, all sorts of things coming into you, right? Because you never frame them enough.
Then you will usually say yes that because you want their business, right?
Very hard for me to say no lah. You know, it's very hard for me to say no. I'm a very good person.
No. I know, I understand where you come from because it's kind of from the traditional business. You know,
Yeah.
it's kind of very difficult to say yes. You know, before I started this whole thing, when I lost my job, right? When I lost my job, the first thing I was thinking of is what can I do, right? And I like to do design work, right? So the first thing I go into the market is that I help you do your marketing collaterals, design. Okay, not knowing that there are so many designers out there. A lot of them are, you know, fresh from school. A lot of them are actually part-timers, freelancers and things like that, and they can do a better job. They can do it faster because they are more familiar with the technology. They can do it cheaper.
Yeah.
Okay. And because when I do marketing collateral and design work like business card and all that thing, it touched the printers. Correct. And a lot of traditional printer will say, okay, you print with us, we'll help you design for free. Correct or not?
Yeah.
We'll do the design for you for free, right? In that case, I can't charge. I can't charge the price that I want. So that's why I got out of that
Yeah. If you see
design
my
thing.
angle, I'm the same thing. I'm a printer also. What?
Yeah,
I'm a producer, right? I'm a producer of parts. Just like how the printer works. I can design for free.
yeah. Because you already have the department there sitting down doing nothing, right?
Correct.
Correct or not?
But now I want to revenue. I want to revenue rise.
Monetize,
I want
monetize.
it. I want to monetize it because
Okay,
it's that doesn't mean that it's for free. So I
correct.
actually change a little bit of my mindset. Like I don't want to do it for free because then everybody is going to take advantage of me, and they don't value the ideas that we give. And sometimes a lot of times, right, we sit inside that idea churning, phase for
Mm,
very long. And the end of the day, they don't want to pass us the job. They pass it to somebody else that is cheaper to print. So people come in with a free design and then they go somewhere else to actually produce the parts. So at the end of the day, I quit doing that. So I said no. Every time when we want to sell something that involves our manpower, man hour, we will charge. We definitely have to charge.
so selling time is not part of a traditional business lah, because traditionally people never value time lah. Okay, people value physical things. So if you have a product that has a value, but if you have time, you have experience, that is not value. Like you say yesterday in your story, right? You get an engineer to fix a problem. He just turned one screw,
Yeah,
you know,
but
and
the
how
time
do you
that
know
they
which
have,
screw to turn, right?
all right.
Is that your 10 years of experience will tell you which is the right screw.
And which is 10 years. And many people don't put the money into a 10 years, right? If they
Correct.
really put the money into 10 years, how much is that?
Yep. So
So,
a lot of times you say, okay, you download online course, it's online course downloadable one. Why can't you give it for free? Why do you have to charge like $200 for it? Yeah. Yeah, it took me 10 years to put together that content that lets you download, right?
yeah. I mean, I think we have to change our mindset so that we can change other people's mindset as well. Like we have to really lah. I think that's very important.
Okay, so the other thing you're talking about, do you need to talk about your clients? You can do that maybe in one page in your brochure or in a document that you send out to your client, right? You don't have to like highlight anyone. You can just put a list. So what is the objective? Do you want to talk about a specific client that is got high credential, or do you want to just show that actually you have a lot of clients that use your services,
Okay.
and things like
Um,
that.
the sad thing about this is like I don't have a lot of clients that is like other people would know because they are very OEM, second tier, and
Mm.
all that. So, mm, what else can I showcase if let's say my clients are like, just another factory because we are OEMers now.
Mm.
So we are not, sometimes we don't work directly with the first tier, we work with the second tier.
Okay, so in that case, for because you are OEM, right? You don't have a real brand kind of thing in terms of your client. What you can do is that you can show the results of your services, no? Your products, no? Your products, no? You can put pictures and photograph of your products in one whole page, about plastic injection, molding, and things like that. And then our service actually produces some of the you know household products or the products that you see every day in the market, correct or not? And we are actually behind all this.
Okay.
So
Yeah. Oh, that's more powerful, right?
correct, yeah, because I think you want people to be able to associate with what they use every day, right? That is so successful in the market, and it's actually who made them. You are the
Mm.
one who made them, right?
and we are the hero.
Definitely. I mean, there's always a hero, right? In everything that we do. Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, I think, yeah, hello. Okay, not bad. Got an idea already.